Alright, y'all. Welcome back to another video. It's Black Balloon, and y'all already know what's going on, man. Alright, look. Today in this video, I want to revisit a little bit about XXX Tentacion, right? Now, first thing first, I got to shout out the Truth Is channel. I'll put it up on the screen just in case anybody's never seen one of his videos, but I'm sure a lot of you have. Also, I'm going to put up the channel where this footage originally came from, as far as someone who put it in a video together first. Because someone sent me the Truth Is video on Instagram. And in that video, he basically got some information sent from a smaller channel, which I'm going to put on the screen just in case anybody wants to go check out that channel. And to give him his props for putting together those clips. Now, 2 of these clips I've never seen. And I've done multiple videos on X. And, you know, I once was a fan of his music. So, you know, I was basically, y'all know those videos I did. I went real thorough when I was doing those videos on X. So I was surprised I'd never seen these videos, but I'm not shocked at all about what I've seen. So, like I said, shout out to Truth Is because he did a real good video on it. But I can't let this go past at all. Like, I had to talk about this real quick and show y'all these clips just in case y'all have never seen it. Now, 2 of these clips is completely new to me, but it just goes, you know, it really shows what X was into. And till this day, he's still streamed by the millions every single day. I think he has the most songs on Spotify or something like that, with about 8 songs that have 1 billion views a piece. And basically, he still has a hold on a lot of his fans. Y'all remember I used to tell y'all, if you go to his Instagram page right now, you'll see comments by the minutes. I think it's slowed down. Today, I think it's just by the minutes. Like every 2 to 3 minutes, someone comments. But just about a year ago, it was by the seconds. Like for years, the first 2 to 3 years after he passed, it was by the seconds of comments under his page. I'm talking about 3 years after he passed. That's how much of a hold he still had on his fans. With that being said, I want to show y'all these clips for those who haven't seen it. And I want to talk about it because it's some really good stuff that I haven't seen about X. One of them is a phone call from jail. I'm assuming some kind of leaked phone call from jail where he was basically, you know, writing down a spell to do in order to help him get out of jail. We're going to talk about it more when I let y'all hear it. The other clip is of some girls that were supposedly at the house that X kind of like originally started all of his shit at. Like he met this guy that was a porn star, right? And him and members only, a bunch of their crew used to stay at this house. They used to do music. They used to do rituals. They used to do all kind of shit at this house. They used to do porn, probably everything that you can imagine. Now, this one girl kind of talks about what she experienced there, and it's pretty dark. It's pretty evil. And for the people that were kind of like looking up to X, when you see this kind of information, it would almost make you feel stupid that you know, believed in this guy, you know? And I also want to talk about Jocelyn Flores, the girl that he dedicated basically his biggest song to as well. We're going to get to it toward the end of this video. So with that being said, I want y'all to check out this first clip.
And he started managing them, and that's when they started. He was 17 years old. They were both 17, 18 years old. I think a little younger. Hanging out at Bruno's house with a whole bunch of porn stars, drugs, bitches, parties, and these kids are living the life with, like, you know how insane that is? Because I was living in the house.
That's why those raps were dope, right?
Yeah, that's why X and them were like insane fucking kids, like fucking doing screamo and like doing all this crazy shit. Like they were living a fucking rock star life.
Because of that fool. That's
Bruno
crazy.
Is, like, there's videos of Bruno taking X to Disney. Damn. Like you know, he like people said like Bruno was kind of wanted him to be like his little. His like mini-me, or like that. That's like they're twins, or like, you know, they acted almost like. Yeah. And X admired that. It was so weird, and that's when all those allegations came out. Like he beat up this girl, and that was at Bruno's house. It's crazy. All that shit went on. Like it's crazy.
So that was like the center of all the.
No one knows that it was Bruno.
Really?
And now none of X's mom, his friends, none of those people fuck with Bruno. because he really got this kid into like a bad like lifestyle.
So is he doing something else or just different artists?
Bruno?
Yeah.
Bruno's still doing the same thing he was doing.
Just different artists.
Pimping hoes, pimping, selling drugs, doing all that shit, you know?
Damn.
Miami Ratchet.
That's my new rap name. My new rap name is gonna be Bruno.
Bruno.
Like Freeway, like Rick Ross. Rick Ross is like, I'm gonna be a Rick Ross.
Yeah, this is when X was like 17. He had like short hair. He didn't even have like the two like blonde, and he was kid. Yeah. He was recording in his house. Yo, if I tell you some real shit right now, like, I'm gonna tell you some crazy shit. Like, these kids, like, what I've heard, what they did at Bruno's house. Bruno never did that in the house when I was there. He just like beat girls up and like put them in cages and like.
Yeah, regular like mob boss shit.
Yeah, like you know, crazy. And then what I heard later on was, I guess after he started living with these kids, they started doing like brujeria. Like, they started doing that shit. And like, these are facts. Like, Wi-Fi, Funeral, and all these guys would say that. Even Juice WRLD would say that shit. He was like, yeah, like, Bruno was doing like they were doing some weird shit. Even X. Yeah, they were when
Florida has that, Louisiana has that shit.
Bro, crazy. I didn't know because when I was living there, like, they wasn't doing that. And then I heard that, I was like, damn, that nigga's crazy.
It's that Everglades shit, like crazy witch doctor.
Yeah, they were getting, supposedly they got some of the girls and did like some weird shit, like.
Yeah, like they can.
Sacrifice. Throwing blood just on them.
They dope them up somehow, so like they pass out and they're like knocked out. And then like do crazy shit. Maybe sacrifice, I don't know. But
well, that's what I heard, and the girls started tripping out. Like, the girls are like some weird shit. I believe in that stuff. I live in Miami. I'm not gonna lie, like, I looked into that. I was like, ooh.
Sacrifices a girl's soul when he fucks them on top of his bed. Because he has, like, the gates of hell pentagon drawn underneath his bed. And he sacrifices a girl's soul on top of the bed when he fucks them. So, let the world know that, because that is some real demonic shit. And that's not cool. That revolves around
Alright, y'all. So, y'all heard it from someone that was at the house, or, you know, she used to frequent at the house where X and all of his homies was staying. And this guy right here on the screen is Bruno. This is the guy who supposedly managed X early on, before X was really even famous. This is the guy that she's talking about. You know, I guess he was a porn star or whatever down in Florida. And he's the one who's sort of responsible for pitting X onto the occult knowledge. Now, you know, from me looking at things about him and digging up other videos, you know, I don't think this guy is like some super huge occultist. You know, he does seem to have some kind of knowledge. Maybe he studied Crowley and his sex magic rituals, which is why he had a pentagram under his bed while he would have sex with the girls. Maybe he studied the religion of Thelema, which was basically Crowley's religion that he created, a bunch of different ideologies that came from that secret society that he was first initiated in, called, I think, Ordo Temporis or something like that, that was basically a secret society that was made up to be like, you know, to like take the place of the Illuminati, the Bavarian Illuminati. That was one of its like goals, but Crowley ended up taking it to a whole nother level with, you know, the things that he was basically trying to reach, you know, goal-wise, occult-wise in his life. So you could probably say these dudes did study that kind of stuff, because obviously once we get to the part where X is on the phone and he's trying to get the ritual, he's trying to recite the ritual in jail to basically get him out of jail and get him free of all the stuff that he had going on with the girl that he had supposedly beat. But this is the guy that they actually say beat the girl, Geneva, and, you know, somehow it was pinned on X or whatever. You know, I didn't go too deep into that story because I didn't want to put all that stuff in this video. But we can for sure say this is one of the first dudes that introduced X to that life of the occult. And there's even pictures in his house, I'm going to assume it's in his house, of a Baphomet with 2 naked girls and snakes coming out of their mouth. And in the video, he says that he's the Baphomet. I'm talking about Bruno, the guy on the screen. X was also seen taking a picture in front of that same Baphomet art piece that was on the wall. So y'all could go look this up on YouTube. Like, all you got to do is type in XXX Tentacion Bruno manager, and it'll come up. Some of this stuff will come up. So once again, shout out to that Born Again page. I'm gonna put his YouTube name on the screen because he really had most of this stuff on his channel. When it comes to this Bruno guy, a guy I never really paid much attention to, because X did have that No Jumper interview where he talked about he shot a porno and all this stuff. But, you know, as a guy, you don't really give a damn about that. You just, you know, that's not something you go and make connections to as far as the people that he was with, you know. But hearing those girls say the things that they had going on at that house, it all makes sense to, you know, how X was living and what he actually became, you know. He really started to kind of like preach that ideology of Aleister Crowley to his fans, and his fans had no idea what he was actually talking about, you know. So with that being said, y'all, we're gonna jump right into this next clip, because I really just wanted to show y'all that and this recorded phone call from when X was in jail. So check.
All right, what is it? Say it to me. You. Say the first part. Hello? Yes, I can hear you. Say it. Summoning Hecate, goddess of crossroads, darkness, witchcraft, wisdom, and the moon. Please come to me, please. Right, tell me how to spell the name. Summoning. The H word. Huh? Hecate is the H word that I was saying. Wait, H-E? Hecate. Hecate. Yeah, goddesses of crossroads. Or goddess. I mean, yeah, goddess of crossroads. Goddess of darkness, witchcraft, wisdom, and the moon. Wait, hold on. Darkness, witchcraft, wisdom, and what? And the moon. And the moon. Please come to me. Huh? Please come to me. Please come to me. Please. Hecate. Please come to me. Please, Hecate. Yeah. Please. Protect me and bring me freedom. Protect me and bring me freedom? Mm-hmm. Through this sacrifice. Bring me freedom through this sacrifice. Through the sacrifice, okay. Treat me as if one of your own. Treat me as one of your own. And give me all that is needed. Your own. And give me all that is needed? That's what yeah. Hecate, surround me in your darkness. Hecate, right? Okay. Hecate. Surround me in your darkness so that I can bring forth my light. So that... Listen, if I have to call back, I want you to put like...
Now, toward the end of that phone call, and toward the end of him reciting the ritual, it went, so that I can bring forth my light, accept this sacrifice. Basically, you know, asking the goddess, I will bring forth my light. Will you accept this sacrifice? That was what the ritual, you know, one of the phrases that it ended with. Now, you could hear how desperate X was on that phone call. Now, he was desperate for time because time started running out. And at the end of the phone call, he was like, yo, bro, I'm going to call you right back. Please put $20 to $30 so I can call you right back, blah, blah, blah. Like, he was desperate. He was, you know, he was basically like a practitioner at that time. He was willing to do anything in order to get out of jail and to get back to where he was going within his career in the industry. Obviously, to be, you know, linked in with Bruno and around people that have studied this stuff and they know what rituals to perform, they gave him this information, you know, and he was already around it. He'd already seen this kind of stuff happen and practice blood magic, blood rituals, sex rituals. So he was down to do whatever. You could hear it in his voice. Now, I had to speed it up because of the beat. I spoke to the devil in Miami. It was playing in the background, so you can't really hear how desperate he sounds with it sped up. But listen to the original version. You could really hear he really sounds desperate. So, you know, we could very well much believe that this was one of the rituals that he did in order to get what he got in the industry, to become rich and famous and have that hold the way that he really did on his fans. X had a hold on young people like we've never seen. And that's what I was trying to stress to y'all in the beginning. I believe he did some really powerful magic. He prayed and asked very powerful spirits to help him with this stuff, and it worked. Could this goddess of witchcraft, Hecate, been one of them? And just, a real quick brief history, I guess, over some Greek mythology we could go over, in the ritual that they were writing down. He basically tells you what she was. She was a goddess of the crossroads, of magic, of witchcraft. She was also known as the goddess over the night, the moon, ghosts, and necromancy. Her parents were Titan gods, Perseus and Asteria. It says she is often displayed holding 2 torches or a key. It is believed that Hecate represented witchcraft, magic, and ghost. She has many different interpretations. She's a guardian of the crossroads. Hecate's association with crossroads is symbolic of her nature as a liminal deity, one who operates in between spaces and realms. Statues and shrines dedicated to Hecate were commonly placed at crossroads. These sites became places of reverence and offerings, especially during dark moon rituals, connecting her with the threefold phases of the moon, waxing, full, and waning. So that's just a little brief history of, this Greek goddess, Hecate, who they were actually, basically performing rituals for and asking for the blessings of this world, basically. So, I thought that was huge for us to get into, just because I had never had any of this in my videos previously of what X was actually really into. And so I felt like doing this video because a lot of people still worship him and believe that, he was coming from a good place in the heart. But really, at the end of the day, he was practicing witchcraft and rituals that, just like that, the one that he was writing down over the phone, goes to show you he didn't really know much about this kind of stuff. And that's easy, for these spirits and these demons to take control and take over someone like X. Someone who's willing to give up their light. He was willing to give up his soul, give up his life in order to briefly be rich and famous. And I believe these rituals that he was practicing and praying to these, demons and these spirits and these deities for is what ultimately took his life. So I believe, in a sense, he sacrificed himself. This is a prime example of when you really don't know about shit that you're doing, you don't even really know what's going on. You're taking this information from people who they also don't even really know what they're doing, and probably used you for a lot of shit that you had, as in the people that was around X, because it's kind of sad, you had to call someone to recite a ritual in jail. And, this was one of the things that ultimately took his soul, took his life, He sold his soul to the devil that easy. All in the name of, getting back to your regular life, blowing up in the industry. But anyways, I'll use this last part of the video to kind of get into Jocelyn Flores, who was the 16 or 17, I think she was 17 when she died. She was a 17-year-old girl that I think she might have been sort of in a relationship with X. I don't know if they were in a relationship. Maybe they were messing with each other, but I think she was some kind of model to his brand. And this is the girl that he dedicated the song Jocelyn Flores to. I think that song is off the album Sad. Like I said, it was one of his biggest songs. And if you haven't looked into anything about Jocelyn Flores, you will find this article to be quite interesting when we mention the word sacrifice. So let's check this article out real quick and we'll wrap this video up. Now, what I meant to do after that jail phone call that we just listened to when X was basically reciting that ritual to the goddess Hecate was rebuke that in Jesus' name. Now, I wanted to do that publicly across this video for anybody else that may have felt the way that I felt. And, we can all sit here and ask God for forgiveness for anything that we may entertain or listen to without knowing what it could possibly do to, our mental, listening to stuff like that. And basically asking for forgiveness for, just in case we invited something into our lives that we were not aware of. In Jesus' name, I want to rebuke that entire jail phone call, Do not want any of that in my life. Trust me doing this kind of research and listen to this stuff, just like plenty other people out there, a lot of them may not be aware of what we're actually doing. And the fact that even listening to that can invite some of these things into our lives. So, y'all go ahead and do it with me, make sure y'all say that, you know what I'm saying? Use his name, and y'all already know that brings the most power that, we can have when it comes towards these demons and these spirits, to rid them out of our life and, trying to creep in our dreams and shit. So, just wanted to say that. So we're going to go over this article real quick. I think this article is from genius.com. So it says, 2017, XXX Tentacion first previewed a song called Garrett's Revenge, which he dedicated to a girl named Jocelyn Flores that had recently committed suicide. Rest in peace, Jocelyn. I will have my revenge upon the world. A few months later, he dropped his debut album 17, featuring the same song with its title shortened to Revenge, as well as a new track titled Jocelyn Flores. So I guess forgive me in the beginning, I think I said it came from the album Sad, which it was on the debut album 17. So as you can see, he damn near dedicated everything to this girl. He titled the album 17, which was her age. He tattooed 17 on his forehead, which also there are a couple of other rappers that have 17 tatted on them as well. So this could be a little bit deeper. And also he titled one of the biggest songs, which I think was the biggest song, Jocelyn Flores, her name. The latter track became a hit, eventually peaking at number 19 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. And a new report from the Daily Beast reveals that Flores' family wasn't notified about the track before its release, and they have mixed feelings about how X used their daughter's story without permission. So, on to Jocelyn Flores' death. According to the report, Flores committed suicide in the bathroom of a Hampton Inn in Coconut Creek, Florida, less than 24 hours after X told her she had to go back home to Ohio. And if I'm not mistaken, I think she was born in New York and she was raised in New York. And her dad died at a very young age. And she also was similar to X, as in dealing with a bunch of depression and wanting to commit suicide. Now, this was from another article that I read about her that kind of went over her, like her early years and how she met X and who she was as a person. So supposedly she dealt with some of those thoughts as well. But now this is very fishy story, because, the dad, the family wanted to know, how was her last day? What did she do? What did she eat? What really happened? They don't really know what happened on her last day alive. And it's very, very fishy. Raises a lot of red flags that less than 24 hours after she met X, she committed suicide in the bathroom of a Hampton Inn. So basically she hung herself, supposedly. Says she was staying with X along with another girl to model for a clothing line X was planning. Although she had never modeled before, he reportedly told both girls to leave after they started fighting following a discovery of several $1,000s in cash missing from X's bag. Flores had met X online less than a month beforehand, which was through Twitter, a fan page, and the rapper had just been released from jail following a disturbing domestic violence arrest. This was the part that I wanted to bring up, because we've went over a lot of industry sacrifices that take place in hotels, in bathrooms, where they either hung themselves or, drowned in a tub, or drowned in water, things that happen in bathrooms, and y'all know I did the video that's on my Patreon with the 12 doorknob rituals, where all of these celebrities hung themselves on doorknobs, which sounds very crazy, but literally there is the video. It exists. And, just for y'all that may have never seen it, I tried to put that video on YouTube, but it got me suspended. So that's why I never posted it again. But it's on my Patreon. So it goes a little bit deeper into why rituals are done in the bathroom as far as people supposedly hanging themselves. But I think the biggest thing here from Jocelyn Flores, it happened less than 24 hours. And it's very strange that she decided to commit suicide away from home, not next to, not where she lived. She went to an entirely different state and 24 hours, less than 24 hours after meeting XXX, she decides to commit suicide, and that is where she wants to end her life. In a bathroom of a Hampton Inn. So, y'all pretty much tell me what you think. Because that doesn't sound like someone committed suicide. It sounds like she got herself into something that she had no idea about. And it sounds like X sacrificed her. And which in turn, he dedicated everything he could in her name. And it made him even more powerful. Because guess what? These guys studied Aleister Crowley. And they believed that human sacrifice was the most powerful ritual there was. Which is why I think X had the hold on the fans the way that he did. Because he gave his own soul and he also sacrificed another soul as well. Which by connecting with those demons and those deities that they were praying to made his, it just made him very powerful. Spiritually, he was very connected to the young people. I have talked about this kind of stuff a lot on my channel because I don't believe you can have that kind of connections to humans naturally. I don't believe it happens naturally. I believe it's spiritual, and it's not a godly presence. It's a demonic presence that makes people pass out about you, worship you, can't stop thinking about you. You're an idol to them. To me, that is demonic. It is a spiritual connection that is from a dark doorway. It's not something that, it's not my connection to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Now, a better example of it is like, throughout my entire YouTube career or whatever, I've had probably thousands of people be like, yo, you dropped this video right on time. I needed to hear this. I was searching for this topic and boom, you dropped a video. Or I was talking to someone about this yesterday. Boom, you dropped a video. I really needed to hear this. That right there is divine timing. So that is what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to give you a better example of the connection that, that's like a true godly connection. We're on the God frequency, basically. That connection that X has is completely different, much darker. It's not where we're on, y'all come to me for truth and, to hear my opinion about it. And it's valued in this community. Y'all don't worship me though. Y'all living y'all life. Y'all not thinking about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, my connection to y'all is spiritual through God, because I've helped people. I put out spiritual videos and, try to make people more spiritually aware of life and, things that you should be really caring about. So we have a positive, godly connection to each other. Think about that idol worship to the musicians that, they study spells, witchcraft. They create their connection through darkness. And that darkness can be very powerful, but it will be also very short-lived for both sides. And that is why X was taken at the peak of his career. Because that's how the devil works. He took him at the peak. That's how this stuff works, y'all. So yeah, man, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up here. Hope y'all enjoyed that video. And with that being said, it's Black Balloon. And I'm gonna see y'all soon. I'm out.